What's up everybody? In today's video, I will be giving you all some tips for playing on high ping. One of the more important tips for playing on high ping is that your playstyle needs to be more calculated. Anyone who has played on high ping knows that everything you do is delayed, and because of this, it's more important that you slow down and don't try to do too much. Also, because of this, you should be playing more reactive to your opponent, which means the second thing that you need to do is focus on reading your opponent. And I'll get more in depth on that later in the video, but the third and final tip that I have before doing so is to stay shot ready and really focus on hitting shots, because aim on high ping can be your biggest chance of winning fights. Now, getting into reviewing some gameplay, on screen now is my opponent's point of view fighting me, and the first thing you can see is that I go for peace and a shot as soon as I see the opportunity for it. You can also see that I'm doing a good job of cutting off the places that he wants to move to. This leads me to being in a situation where I'm able to use my angles and hit a shot to finish the fight. Right here, you can kind of see me think about my next move, and this was a good way to cut him off on the ramp, but one mistake I made was leaving this space open for a floor, and I definitely was left exposed and could have been hit hard. But once I see that he has the floor, instead of trying to get it back, I just wait with my crosshair on my opponent just in case he makes an edit while leaving the box and protecting myself on the way out. All I'm trying to do is stay one step ahead of my opponent by predicting and trying to force him to move where I want him to. And right here, I was able to use my movement to throw my opponent off and get a free shot to win this fight. Right here, I'm just trying to keep some space between me and this opponent and look for opportunities to deal damage. For example, right here, I'm just waiting on him to open up the double edit to move through, and that would have given me a free shot. But I'm still continuing to build towards him and trying to block off angles, and eventually I'm able to get in a position to get peace under him and open up into the last shot. Here's what it looked like from his point of view. This fight was a good example of being able to force my opponent into a bad position, and at the start, all I'm trying to do is get up in a protective manner, and eventually the space opens up for me to ramp off my opponent and beat him to the way out, and it's an easy fight from there. This fight was a good example of playing your angles correctly and being patient. As you can see, I'm initially waiting for a shot, and once I hit and see that he's not backing down, I set up a nice peek to hit him hard unexpectedly. Once he backs off, I use that as my opportunity to get height, and while doing so, I'm still just trying to block off the places that I think he wants to go. After hitting that big shot, I know that I have to just keep applying pressure, and then unfortunately, I do take a big shot in return. But even after that, I'm still trying to apply some pressure before seeing that he stops and heals himself. Because we did trade damage, I took a second to use some heals, and then I used this wall to block off his angle once again before setting up the peak to hit the final shot. Here's that same fight, but from his POV. This fight right here was a good example of baiting your opponent and having a good reaction time. One thing you should almost all know by now is that once your opponent shoots their shotgun, you have a small window to make a move before they can shoot again. And here, that was the main point of the edit reset bait. As you can see, once we trade the big hits, he just tries to instantly rush in, and I'm able to react fast enough, even on high ping, to edit the cone in a way that protects myself and finish the fight. Being able to flip that cone up like that was the reason why I was able to win this fight, and here's what it looked like from his point of view. This last fight was a great example of predicting what my opponent would do, cutting off angles, and being shot ready. As you can see, I start by blocking off the ramp with a cone and grabbing the side wall, which allowed me to make an edit and hit a decent shot. Knowing he basically only has one way out, which is backwards, I claim the wall and go for a shot before he gets there. I tried to do the same thing again, but this time he was able to go up, and as soon as I realized that, I block off a potential way he'll go with a wall and pre-piece that same area above him just in case he tries to go out the top. Then I continue trying to do the same thing and get hit pretty hard, but at this point I know he's one shot and end up getting the opportunity to claim piece under him and drop him down and win the fight. Here's what it looked like from his point of view, and as you can see, even though he was actually kind of moving, he didn't have more than one good opportunity to hit me. Now, if you want to learn how to fight more aggressive, click this video on the left, and if you're just feeling stuck and burnt out, click this video on the right. Thanks for watching, see ya.